A dynasty in motion, reshaping the sport's greatest tradition, channeling the legends of his line and surpassing them. 4 of the last 6 Derby winners carry his genes. A Golden Son, a Horse of the Year. Another chapter written beneath those iconic spires. Derby dreams fulfilled for the titans of our industry. From authentic to sovereignty, a legacy both real and supreme. Into mischief.
Hello everybody, Mike Welsch coming to you from Del Mar with the penultimate edition of the Daily Racing Form Breeders' Cup Clocker, a workout report brought to you by Spendthrift Farm, the home of 6-time General Champion sire Into Mischief. Well, today was the busiest day since we've been here at Del Mar for the Breeders' Cup, and not surprisingly now with all the players on the grounds. Every time you looked up, it seemed like another gaggle of Breeders' Cup horses were walking by one way or another to go into the gate, go into the paddock, and even going to the turf course today. The turf course has been very quiet, we noted that, but today a lot of action on the grass. It was an important day for the large international contingent on hand for this year's Breeders' Cup. A good many of the Europeans picking up their activity. This was only their second day out of quarantine, so a lot of them really picked up their workloads today. Also, a trio of Japanese horses after the renovation break turned in time workouts over the main track, and we'll get to that. Like I said, the turf course was open for business since Saturday, but very few takers until this morning. Over a dozen horses at 7:15 came out onto the turf course, all European horses, a group led by the 6-horse contingent of trainer Charlie Appleby, led, of course, just like yesterday, by fan favorite, the incomparable Rebels Romance. He and his barmates galloped a strong mile around the turf course, open galloped at a 2-minute lick, most of them. Rebels Romance, like I said, leading the way. He looked very happy. He came down the lane on his left lead, not surprisingly, but he came through the wire with his ears up, looking very happy, continued out very strongly into the turn. Had a couple of recorded works this morning on the turf as well. The best of that lot being Aspect Island, who won a sharp quarter mile. I had her in 23-2 coming down the lane, or I had him in 23-2 coming down the lane. He was followed by Buchanan Fuerte, who's going to run in the turf sprint. He had a vigorous gallop of his own. All of these horses on the grass pretty much won at a 2-minute lick and then finished off with a flourish. I had Buchanan Fuerte in 25-3 for his final quarter. I think both of those actually got official time workouts by the clockers. And Salawi, who's going to run in the turf, another one who skipped over the course very nicely and then finished it up with a 24-second flat final quarter mile. Now the 3 main track works, all maintenance in design today, not surprisingly, with the horses' races only a couple of days away. And the key player here today was Forever Young, who went in company with American Stage, who is prepping for the sprint. Forever Young broke 2 lengths behind American Stage, caught up, and they turned into the stretch. The two of them come to the wire, both in hand to finish, not wanting to do too much, with Forever Young sticking his head in front at the end. I had him in 50-4 for the half mile, but his final quarter in 24 seconds flat galloped out under a snug hold in 103-3. American Stage's final clocking on my watch was 51-2 and 104-1 on the gallop out. They were followed by another Japanese runner, Alice Verite, who was training for the Distaff. She looked good a couple of days ago, had plenty of energy during her routine gallop, and in her workout today, she was also kept from doing too much in hand, reined in during the latter stages. I had her in 24-4, 49 flat, and galloped out in 101-3. The Distaff, a lot of horses doing very well here for the Distaff, and we'll get to that in a second. Other observation during training hours this morning, Mystic Dan out very early this morning. I thought he had a much better day today. I like the way he looked today, an improvement over yesterday morning. Both Stellify and Village Voice, who are training for the Philly and Mad Turf, actually came out and trained. They're from 2 different barns, but they came out just minutes apart, and both were full of a run this morning, especially Stellify. He looked particularly sharp. She looked particularly sharp over the main track. She was zipping along at better than a 2-minute clip for at least 6 furlongs of her gallop this morning. So thumbs up for Stellify today. Journalism in beast mode as always in the morning. Looked terrific, maybe even a bit more so this morning. Came out a little bit later than usual. Usually goes right about dawn. Today a little after 7 o'clock. Got to see him a lot better today with the sunrise, and he was really flying too. 2-minute clip almost the entire way around. He didn't go quite as far as usual today. Usually 1.75 miles. Today he pulled up after 1.25 miles. And right behind him, Darth Vader continues to make a very favorable impression since she arrived here last week. Loved her work the other day, and she's come out of it obviously in top form as well. Her rider had all he could do to handle her, to keep her contained from doing too much with her race, the race in the Distaff, now just 72 hours away. And the Distaff favorite is going to be Seismic Beauty. She's a monster of a filly. She's looked terrific here in the several days she's been here since shipping over from Santa Anita. And she also got a little bit in runoff mode this morning when she galloped after the renovation grade. She was leaving the backstretch when a couple of workers, non-Breeders' Cup workers, came by, and she got on the muscle trying to run with them. Her rider took her out to the middle of the racetrack to keep her from doing too much as well. Again, with the Distaff just 72 hours away. On the classic front, defending champion Sierra Leone, I thought he looked great today too. Another good morning for him. The Chad Brown horses, all trained with tremendous energy. They do it on a regular basis back home in New York, and they have done so here as well. But Sierra Leone has made a particularly good impression. And the Todd Pletcher trio, the classic trio of Mindframe, Antiquarian, and Fierceness, came out a little bit later than usual this morning for a routine gallop. They did so to accommodate a schooling session at the starting gate. Well, one more day to go. We will wrap everything up here tomorrow. I'm going to guess we'll see a little more action on the turf course as we did today, and then we'll be back here, DRF.com, with our final DRF Breeders' Cup Workout Report for 2025 on Thursday. So keep it here at DRF.com.